Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome on in. I am your host, BullMuscle. We've got a great stream for y'all today. So, what we have today is a email. We have gotten one of a couple, but this is the first person to fully go through the consultation process. So, what we have gotten... Oh, I forgot to turn on... This is always fun. Throw on my heart rate for you. Welcome on in, everybody. So, today we've got a pretty good little request. Today's request is for a consultation. So, the way these work, and you guys are going to learn, the way these work is that I'm going to change the model. Ooh, that's too blue. That's pretty nice right there. Looking a little bit better. All right. The way these consultations work, real simple. You write me at askbullmuscle@gmail.com. You ask me whatever question it is that you want, what kind of advice, consultation, coaching you'd like. I'll reply either with follow-up questions, or I'll say, hey, I'll do this for a fee. Or there are other options of paying. You can either... First off, there's two different varieties. There's the one-on-one variety where I sit down and have a conversation with you, and that's very personal because it takes more of my time. Obviously, it's a little bit more expensive, but if you want a video response, I keep it fairly cheap, but I demand payment of some kind because I've learned that giving out advice for free, most people ignore it, and that wastes my time. That pisses me off. So, it's a very small fee if you want to do that. Now, it's not necessarily a monetary fee. We can work out alternate arrangements if that's, if you're, for instance, willing to maybe, help the server or channel grow by promoting me. I don't like doing social media, but I'm willing to, work with others that want to promote my stuff. So come talk to me if that's interesting to you. Anyway, askbullmuscle@gmail.com. First things first, I got a bitchin' Bowie knife as a gift, so pretty good little unit here. Stabby, slicey, slicey, choppy, choppy. It's even got a little built-in within the sheath. It's got a little built-in sharpener. Got it as a gift. So what happens when you take care of your friends? Good friends tend to give you nice gifts like that. Couple other things before we get. Actually, we'll do that after. Let's dive into the consultation. Okay. So we have a consultee writing to us. For his privacy, I'm going to call him Mickey, okay? Saying, aloha, I am reaching out to you today for some guidance on a workout routine and some dieting tips. I've been working out for a few weeks, now doing full body splits. All right, a few weeks, that's a little rule of thumb for when you write me. Make your shit quantifiable, okay? But I feel that doesn't fully optimize rest time, which leads to weaker and worse reps and less consistency. This is a bit of a drawback with full body splits, and I'll dive a little bit more into that a little bit later. As for dieting, quite honestly, I don't have one right now. In general, I cook more and eat more soups. Broth is incredibly filling. Yes, that's good. Soup definitely is good food for that. It's also a very economical way to feed yourself. So that works out in it's beneficial in two different ways. But if you have any tips for where to find macro information, how to plan around that, it'd be greatly appreciated. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Have a wonderful day. All right, so first things first. Okay, my man, quantify your shit. When y'all write to me, I need numbers, right? Getting in better shape. Okay, yes, you want to do that, but newsflash. Okay, everybody wants to get in good shape. Everybody. Yeah, that means you, right there, looking at me in the camera. That's right, everybody. Okay, everybody wants to get in good shape. So, what separates those who do from those who do not is almost always just consistency. Well, how do you breed consistency? All right, you breed consistency by quantifying your shit. Okay, when you have a goal, and this is any goal, it can be money, it can be dating, it can be whatever the fuck. Okay, if you don't quantify it, you're not going to make progress because it's a nebulous goal. You don't know where you are, and you don't know where you will be. All you want is my abs. I can teach you how to do that. We'll get there. Email me if you really want to consult about that. So I wrote back to him, said, all right, asked him some follow-up questions. So where are you at right now in terms of body composition? How much time do you want to commit per week to the gym? How much time you're willing to commit, especially if you want to build muscle, is going to define in a large sense how far you go. Now, there are diminishing marginal returns here, okay? So if you're new to the gym, you probably don't need to commit 10 hours a week, okay? That's probably overkill. If you're committing 1 hour a week, though, that's not going to cut it, okay? I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be, oh, here's BullMuscle being rude to people, but there's a middle ground here. In general, if you're looking just for maintenance, twice a week is the barest of bare minimums if you're doing a upper lower or full body approach. If you're doing and those should be longer workouts. If you're doing push pull leg, they can be slightly shorter workouts, bare minimum of 3, okay? Now, if you're splitting it up some other way, I'm not going to sit here and go through every single different workout split in the world because, one, I don't know them, and two, that defeats the purpose. That's not particularly helpful. Yeah, I haven't shaved in a little while. I haven't shaved since the modeling show. Anyway, so I asked him, okay, let's quantify this. Where are you at now? Where do you want to go? How much time do you want to commit per week, right? And when you say, I've been doing this full body split workout for a few weeks, what is that going to get you, right? Like, what is a few weeks, right? A few could be 3, a few could be 20. We don't know, right? There's a very big difference between quitting at week 3 within a workout regimen and quitting at week 20 or wanting to change it up, which is hopefully what you're doing and not just quitting. Okay? Oh, Eris Gamer. Well, the good news is when it comes to consulting, I pride myself on honesty. I definitely, you're not going to get, my name may be BullMuscle, but I won't give you bullshit, okay? BullMuscle, not bullshit. Anyway, when you say, I asked him what his sleep schedule is like, that is the third pillar of good health, right? Diet, exercise, and sleep. Those are the big 3. And then do you track your numbers? Do you quantify? I already knew the answer to that because if he had, he would have probably given me a lot more quantifiable information to start. Do you have any dietary restrictions or budgetary constraints? A lot of people have that question, right? You want to buy really good, healthy food for yourself, but especially if you live, I don't know, in the single most expensive place in the country for groceries, you might find that fresh produce is quite expensive. There are ways to compensate for that. I'll get into that on that's a little tangent a little bit later. And okay, great. You enjoy soups and teas. How do you handle spicy food? Because with soups in particular, you can really, when you dive into the wondrous world of ethnic soups, stews, curries, stuff like that, you can loads and loads of spicy food can help you because capsaicin is a natural appetite suppressant. So you will feel fuller and you will want less food after it's really spicy if you've eaten it. So we got a response. Responded, okay, when I give you questions, other thing, and he was mostly good about this. When I give you questions, answer all of them and read them in full, right? I didn't, on the first question I asked, where are you now and where do you want to get to? I didn't just ask, where are you now? He responded, eventually I sent him a follow-up again afterwards, and he responded sort of where he was looking to get to. But where is that right now? 5'11 and a half, 285, okay? I'm not going to mince words here. You're obese. You are fat, okay? It is what it is. So the first thing I want you to do before you do anything else, and I'm looking dead into the camera right now, is go to the mirror. Okay, I want you to stare in the mirror, stare into your own eyes, take a good look down, take a good look back up, look at your whole body and say, I am entirely responsible for why my body looks the way it is. You pause. I want you to go back to the mirror and say, I am responsible, entirely responsible for the way my body will look. I want you to pause again. I want you to say afterwards, I choose to make better decisions, and those better decisions will influence my actions, and those actions will allow me to create habits, and those habits will form a stronger body. Okay? All right. But let's not be too harsh on this guy, okay? This guy's from the South. All right? This guy is if you've lived Southern culture the same way I do, we Southerners, we know how to make good food. Unfortunately, we're fucking lazy. We are. I love the South. It's the best part of the United States. Fight me. With the exception of, honestly, this state. The U.S. saved the best for last. The problem is this is very expensive, and you have to know what you're doing, or you will lose all of your money very quickly here. You have to have if you want to move to Hawaii, you've got to have a plan. But in general, in terms of regions in the United States, hell yeah, it's the South every time. But the South has a laziness problem, and the South has a diet problem. So it's not uncommon. But 5'11", 285, no bueno. Now, he said that was his last weigh-in. That was a while back. So hopefully, you said you've been working on lifting for a few weeks. Maybe you've seen some dividends there. Further correspondence, I know your numbers in the gym have been going up, which means you're building muscle. So if you're still weighing 285, you're probably a lot better off than you were 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. Now, generally commit unsure about body fat percentage. My guess is if you're relatively untrained, and I know what your numbers are in the gym, your body fat percentage is it's north of 30, and that's really, if you're male, that's all that matters. If you have more than 30% body fat as a man, you have some work to do, and you fucked up. Okay? No man should have a body fat percentage of over about 30. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So, criminal, if you want to redeem a pose, I'll show you my abs pose, and there you go. You can find out yourself. So, we got to talk about how much time do you want to commit to the gym. And right now, he says, generally currently committing about 1 to 1.5 hours. Good news and bad news for you here. The good news is you are doing better than the average American if that's the case. The bad news is it's not enough. Okay. Now, if you're just looking for life, basic sort of maintain your existing level of strength and basic body functional fitness, that's enough. Okay, maybe, if you're splitting that between 2 workouts a week, that's enough. But if that's the way you're going to do it, you need to go add cardio to your system, so that way you're burning more calories per day, especially if you're trying to lose weight. And that can be just walking, that can be playing a sport, that can be it could be basketball or flag football or ultimate frisbee, whatever. There's loads and loads of different sports out there, and I know whereabouts you live, you've got options on that front. Swimming, riding a bike. If you can ride your bike to work, I mean, there you go. You've knocked out. Riding a bike to work is like one of the best life hacks in the world, because it knocks out your commute time is no longer wasted because it's exercise time. So you no longer need to spend time at a cardio machine in the gym. You're no longer spending any money on gasoline to get there. Your insurance goes down because you're not driving your car nearly as many miles. Criminal means you need to watch a little bit longer. Anyway, the compound effects of riding your bike to work, it is one of the biggest life hacks, I'm telling you. And again, it's part of why I can live here on under $40,000 a year. That takes some fucking doing, and I live in a nice apartment, okay? The only thing it doesn't have is AC, but I've managed to kind of hack that one as well by getting a high-quality double hose. It's important, got to go double hose, not this single hose bullshit that's exported from China and breaks down in 6 months AC unit. So, I would say 1.5 hours for what you want to do is not enough in general. So, skipping forward ahead here. You missed the second half of the first question. I need to know where you want to go, right? It's a very big difference between I want to get in like athletic shape versus I just want to be able to functionally do life, maximize my life expectancy, and just in general be in reasonably good shape. So, reasonably good shape for, at above average height. You're 5'11 and a half. Average height is 5'9". Remember that. Everybody else, okay? Average height, the average American male is 5'9". For any women watching my channel, okay, the percentage of Americans that are taller than 6 feet. And America is a relatively tall race on average, or nationality by average. The percentage of Americans that are 6 feet tall or higher is 15%. Okay? That's not 50, that's 15%. Okay? 5 below 20, 15. So 5'11 and a half, you're doing great, all right, height-wise. You're genetically blessed in that regard. But up to 2 is fine. All right, I would say, yeah, up that to about 2 hours. Generally, if your commute's only 7 minutes each way, then, you know, that's a pretty short commute to the gym. If you could do it by bike, consider doing that. If you can do it by electric bike, that's not a bad option either, especially because, you know, if you do that, you can get your cardio in going to and from the gym. And with electric bike, you know, if you got leg day, you know, you can pedal afterwards as a good little burnout, and not pedal before. Use the electric throttle, so that way you preserve your legs for the lift. I was doing full body splits for 3 weeks, so I'm not a huge full body split fan. Let's talk about this. But at the same time, you've only been doing them for 3 weeks. In general, I think you should give any workout program at least 6 weeks, unless you are feeling like you're going to get hurt doing it, before really deciding to proceed or quit. That being said, since you're still at the beginning of your fitness journey, it's more about lifting the weight than any type of split you do. So I would say, my personal opinion, the best way to start is upper-lower at first. And then I like to move to push-pull leg personally. Push-pull leg is what I do. But that's because my leg days are intense. When I do leg day, that is a full fucking commit. I would say if you are you know, just looking for maintenance, upper-lower is perfectly fine. You know, and that means you only have to go twice a week if you want to just maintain, you know, and if you want to build a little bit more muscle, you can go 3 or even 4 times a week. You know, for a guy if you want to go my level, you know, 5 times a week, upper lower, you are going to feel that. Definitely, if you're going to go that route, for upper or for lower, you know, we can, for a concrete workout plan, we can say, you know, you'd want to do, let's just say hypothetically here, the way I would do it, let's go with 2 days a week for now. For 2 days a week, right, you're going to want to go, I'm going off my notes here. You're going to want to go split your upper lower as follows. You have an upper day and a lower day, okay? Your upper day, you're going to have 3 major muscle groups you really need to, four major muscle groups you really need to work, okay? Don't lose your voice. Thank you very much. 4 major muscle groups you need to work. For upper, your pecs, your lats, your delts, and your arms, okay? Arms is both biceps and triceps. The good news is arms are mostly going to get worked no matter what you do on the other 3. So then that narrows it to your pecs, your delts, and your lats, all right? If you do enough lat exercises, your biceps will be feeling it. If you do enough pec exercises and delt exercises, your triceps will be feeling it. So you can throw in, you know, triceps and biceps is more of an auxiliary thing towards the end of the workout. Still do them and still bust ass on them, and occasionally throw in one where it's a biceps and triceps dominant workout. But the way I would do it is take one of those big 3, okay? So those are going to be bench press. You know, your standard go-tos are some sort of pushing exercise with your chest, some sort of pushing exercise with your shoulders, and some sort of pushing exercise or pulling exercise with your back. So that's going to be pull-ups or rows. So I would say for your first upper body day, do one heavy exercise of, if you're just going 3 times a week, do 1 heavy exercise of all 3, and then 1 light hypertrophy exercise of all 3, and then throw maybe a triceps exercise and a biceps exercise on there. And then probably a good forearm exercise too, something like wrist curls, especially if your grip strength is lacking. So that would look like, for first week upper body, you know, I would say per muscle group at least 3 or 4 sets per exercise. So 3, maybe 4 sets of bench press, And then, 3-4 sets of shoulder press. For bench press, make that your big heavy workout. So you should be looking in the 6 to 8 rep range, with maybe 1 or 2 reps in reserve. Should be pushing yourself pretty fucking hard. The same should apply to shoulder press, and then the same should apply to rows. Then you do alternatives. So like maybe an incline or a decline press, or chest flies, or a machine chest press, or dumbbell bench for your chest. And then for your shoulders, maybe an Arnold press, maybe side raises, front raises, and then for your back, I would say alternate. For the back, I think really there are only 2 exercises. If I had to boil it down and say these are the 2 exercises you need to do above all else, is the pull-up and it is the bent over row. So bent over row, right? Pull-up, well, you know what a pull-up looks like. Now, if you can't do a pull-up, you can do an assisted one or a machine pull down. That's an acceptable alternative, but I think every man should be able to do a pull-up at some point. And if you don't have enough strength to do a pull-up, you need to fix that. You need to get more muscle and probably also lose some fat. So at 5'11", 285, you're not doing pull-ups unless you're absolute god tier lats, which I know, you don't have the experience for that. But you'll get there. Then as your auxiliaries, for your back on your upper days, I would say do 1 heavy pull day, and then it'll be lighter rows. So basically, really, as long as it's a vertical pulling motion and a horizontal pulling motion, you got to have both of those in your upper body workouts. So that's about everything there. And then the following week, you switch it around. So maybe you do, or the next week, you do heavy dumbbell shoulder or dumbbell bench press, and then lighter hypertrophy, maybe 15. When I'm saying hypertrophy, I'm talking sets of 12 to 15 to even 20. Maybe do some cable workouts. Maybe do a heavy dumbbell bench. You can vary what is heavy and what is light, but you do this properly. Let's just say 3 sets per exercise, right? So it's going to be 3 sets of heavy and then 3 sets of light. So it's going to be, right? So bench press is 3, shoulder press that's 6, rows that's 9, okay? And then, I don't know, chest flies is 12, shoulder raises that's 15, pull-ups or pull-downs that's 18. Throw on some wrist curls. I'd say throw on at least 1 bicep curl set in there. And, triceps, maybe even triceps extension if you're really feeling about it. It'll put you somewhere in the 20 to 24 set total range if you do that. So maybe like 2 sets of bicep curls, 2 sets of triceps extensions, or single arm triceps push downs, or skull crushers, or you've seen me do those triceps workouts. So that'll put you at 22, 2 sets of wrist curls, 24. I think that's pretty reasonable. You do that properly, you get done in an hour to an hour and a half. You do that twice a week. So let's talk lower body now, okay? Lower body. So the 2 big exercises you're going to want to work with are squat and deadlift. I am not a fan of doing heavy squat and heavy deadlift on the same day. It is a lot to put on your nervous system. So, in general, I would say lower body, 1 week, right? If you're only going twice a week, 1 week you're going to have heavy squat, and then the other week you're going to have heavy deadlift. So, don't expect to get a lot of gains at 2 workouts per week, by the way. You need to probably train more than that if you want to see gains. But this is for maintenance, probably pretty reasonable. So you squat, I would say, should be about the same amount of total sets, just somewhere in that 18 to 24 range. So I would say pair your squats with calves, pretty easy. Until you start getting into that really hard, heavy breathing squats, 15 to 20 reps, you don't need to worry about rate or pulls. Huge fan, by the way. If you are serious and you are willing to get strength at all costs, this is the fastest way to do so. This workout, though, is fucking hard. If you're a newbie, don't do this. You need at least a year or two's worth of experience in the gym, I think, before you you really want to get into that. I mean, don't get me wrong, super squats is fucking amazing. If you really want to try it, by all means, but be prepared for more pain than you've probably ever experienced if you're new to the gym. So I would say, as a squat workout, probably 5 to 6 sets of squats, probably pretty reasonable. 5 sets of calves. Then you do, leg extensions and leg curls, 3 sets apiece. Yeah, so that's going to put you at, 16, maybe 5. Yeah, 5, 5, and then 3, 3, that's 16. Throw in some lunges, maybe 2 sets of lunges, and then you can do some abductors, adductors, front squats, goblet squats, pause squats, Bulgarian split squats, or even the Romanian deadlift. If you had to throw in a deadlift variation to your squat day, I recommend the Romanian deadlift because Romanian deadlift is focused a lot on the hypertrophy, right? Or the eccentric part of the workout. So it's the slow extension downwards rather than the contraction upwards. So deadlift works the same way. I would do 5-ish sets of deadlifts. Throw calves on there. Maybe you throw some leg press on there. Leg press is a good alternative. If all the squat racks are taken, leg press it's also good for volume. You could do 3 sets of squats and 3 sets of leg press if you really wanted to. Do the squats at maybe lower volume and do the leg press at higher volume. In general, I feel as though leg press is much more useful at rep ranges at 8 at the absolute minimum. 12 to 20 is a little bit better for leg press. The reason is just because with squats, you have your entire body has to support the weight. A squat is closer to a full body workout than a leg press is. So pair off leg curls, leg extensions, Bulgarians, goblet squats. Split squats are a good alternative. But then for your deadlift day, you do deadlift variations as well. The sumo deadlift, the Jefferson deadlift. Huge fan of the Jefferson deadlift. That one takes some time to learn, but it's pretty good. You can even try, once you get good, try a few Oli lifts, power cleans, hang cleans. I like the power cleans specifically a lot because it takes you from doing a deadlift and adding another motion into it. If you really wanted to go all out balls to the wall, you go with the full body press. And the full body press, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just do one workout of nothing but full body press. I've done that on this channel before. So that's in the second day, throw calves in there. I would say on a leg day, if you're doing 20 to 24 sets, 4 or 5 of those should be calves. The rest should be some sort of leg workout. And you can, it's not a golden rule that thou shalt not do squats and deadlifts on the same day. But in general, I find that my central nervous system just doesn't jive with it. Is going super heavy on both. So I would say if you are going to do squats and deadlifts on the same day and you insist on doing that, alternate. Do one light and one heavy. So do heavy squat, light deadlift, or heavy deadlift, light squat. So there you go. That'd be 2 per day. So let's go through the rest of the questions on the email. I would say if you wanted to adopt that right away, you probably could. If you feel like continuing full body for the total of 6 weeks, that's your choice as well. Sleep schedule, roughly 12:15 to 6:30 a.m. That is not enough, okay? Most people, and you are most people, statistically speaking, need at least 7 hours of sleep a night. I find that I do really well with at least 7.5. I don't find necessarily that I do better with 8, 8.5, or even 9. I find 7.5 is that real golden sweet spot for me. But your mileage may vary, and as you get older, you do slightly tend to get less sleep, and your quality of the sleep is worse. So it is an age-dependent thing too. But for your age, you're in your 20s, get at least 7.5 hours of sleep. It's going to help you with your cravings for food. It's going to help you with having more energy for the gym. It's going to help you more productive at work. You're going to be sharper if you want to learn. You're taking classes. You're going to do better at them. Get to bed earlier than 12:15. That's too late. 11 at the absolute latest. And again, if you live in the East Coast, it sucks because right, especially here, right, what's nice is I can get up at 4:40 in the morning and go to bed at 8, which is oftentimes what I do. When I say go to bed, I'm saying wind down. A lot of the times I'm not actually asleep until closer to 9. But, right, 9 to 4:40, I'm going to probably get up to pee once or twice in the night. That's roughly 7.5 hours. So usually by about 9 o'clock, I'm out. And I get up early. I will admit that. And then, so you do that. I would say do that twice a week. If you're only going twice a week, your workout should be a little bit longer. Maybe err towards the side of 24 sets. If you want to go 4 times a week, then you can definitely play around. You'll be increasing your volume, which will probably provide better results. But anyway, sleep schedule, yeah, definitely try to get that at least 7. And you sleep more on the weekends. That's good to a point. But in general, the more consistent your sleep schedule is, the higher quality on average your sleep is. And there are lots of studies. If you want, I can go back them up. But you can go look it up yourself too. In general, 7 hours of sleep, if you are consistently getting it for a set amount of hours, like from 9 to 4, or from midnight to 7 if you really wanted to. If you're consistently getting those 7 hours, it's better to do that than to have 7 hours where it's 9 to 4 one night and 12 to 7 another night. That you don't want to be doing that. Your body doesn't like that. Don't fuck with your circadian rhythm. And when you have to change it slowly. The same thing applies when it's, otherwise you're going to feel like shit. I mean, if you know what jet lag is like, that's what you're doing effectively, is you're fucking with your circadian rhythm. Remember, biologically speaking, we're all we're basically monkeys, okay? We're pre-industrial revolution, we're hunter-gatherers, we're ooga-booga cavemen. We're used to get up when sunshine and go bed when sun go down, okay? Right, I'm still aurochs, biologically speaking. I might be bull now, but I'm aurochs. So it's the same thing. You gotta at least on that biological basic function with sleep, you gotta listen to your hindbrain a little bit. And that means getting rid of the fucking electronics. Notice, my phone, my computer, my laptop, all my electronics are not in my bedroom. I cannot stress how good an idea this has become. If you want, I use my phone to get up in the morning. Bullshit. Okay, go to Goodwill. You'll get an alarm clock for $4. Better still, just get a watch, okay? Better, this one for me tracks my sleep, which is even better. It's a rough estimate, so I don't put too much weight in it, but it's still a pretty useful tool. And I say track your sleep too, okay? No major budget constraints. Try to save where I can. In that case, I go with the basic 3 rules of food. Eat mostly plants, okay? Don't eat too much. And try not to go out of your way. I would say eat enough protein, really. That would be the second one. So, let's talk about general. He doesn't track his diet, so we're going to talk about that. Cook at home more, do a very broad scope of decreased sugar, soda, and increased protein. That's good, but nothing strict. So the general goal for you is strength and health improvement. I think I'd like better health and strength for improving my confidence in life. Could open up better opportunities for playing sports. Yes, it could. So where are you at now? Yummy. It is being affected by the hurricane, but I think my tenant's going to be all right. Let's talk a little bit about this about the honest response here. Here's the bad news. It did not take you a few weeks to get to 285 pounds body weight. It's not going to take you a couple of weeks to get down from 285. It's going to take you will suffer, okay? You're gonna hate it. You're going to be on a long cut, and then you're going to take a maintenance break, and then you're going to go on another long cut. Here's my diet plan for you, okay? And if you want to quibble about the exact numbers, whatever. It's your fucking problem. I'm going to say 22 to 2,400 calories. Yeah, that's fucking low. You better believe it's fucking low. But, right, the USDA average for the average man is 2,000 calories, okay, per day for food. And you'll notice The average man's 5'9". My friend here, Nikki, you're about 5'11 and a half, so you're slightly above average. Actually, this is significantly above average. You're probably around 70, or actually probably 80th percentile in terms of height. Maybe even closer to 85th, because you're real close to that 6 foot mark. I would say 22 to 2,400 calories. And then protein. I recommend an above average protein recommendation, mostly because it is filling and it will make your muscle grow a little bit better. Now, because you're only going 2 days a week, I would say at least 100 grams of protein. Now, I would say if you want to actually put on some muscle, and I recommend you do so, because if you do that, you will naturally, just by every motion you do, the more muscle you build, the more calories you naturally burn, because muscle requires a lot of energy to maintain. This is why I can eat, there are days where I will eat 4,000 calories and not gain weight. It's because I'm fucking ripped, okay? Yes, I still have some fat on me. You get what I mean. Relative to the average, I am very much above average in terms of muscle mass. So if you want to eat more, maybe consider hitting the gym a little bit harder. And you probably will be able to both lose weight and you'll gain muscle, which means you won't lose the weight as fast, but you'll look better faster, and more importantly, you won't lose as you'll be able to keep that cut going at about the same calorie level without having to adjust later. So a lot of times for a cut cycle, you got to adjust downward later as your body decreases in size. The laws of physics will make a decrease in weight. Now at 285, naturally, basically every step you take, you're going to expend a lot more energy than someone at 200. So at 22 to 2,400 calories, you'll be in a serious calorie deficit. That's a good thing, because again, it's going to take you a minute to get to where you want to be. If you want to be at that sort of healthy, normal weight, for a guy your size, it's going to be somewhere around 180 pounds. So you got about 100 pounds to lose. Realistically, at a 500 calorie deficit, doing the math, 500 calorie deficit is roughly a pound a week, is roughly 52 pounds a year, which means it's going to take you almost 2 years to do. Now, if you go the 22 to 2,400 route and you start putting on a little bit of muscle, you will lose weight faster than this. It won't be fucking easy, and you won't sustain that rate of weight loss, okay? But I reckon if you bust ass, right, just did a 500 calorie a day deficit, it's last week of September, so you've got 5 weeks between now to the end of October, then another 9 between November and December. So that's 14 weeks. So that would be 14 pounds at a 5 calorie per week deficit. And that's going through the holidays. 500 calories a day deficit. That's going through the holidays. It's not going to be fucking easy. You will suffer. That'd put you at 271. If you go to that 22 to 2,400 calorie route and you're serious about expending energy, you could probably expect to about double that. So now you're talking 257. 257 is still obese, probably. It's probably on that borderline of overweight to obese for a guy your size. But you're going to feel so much better at 257 than you will at 285. You're going to be fucking hungry. My recommendation is, because Christmas is roughly 12 weeks away, immediately go on this cut. Go 6 weeks, take a maintenance break at around maybe 3,000 calories, 2,800 calories, something like that. Then take another 6 weeks. Then your second maintenance break should be right around Christmas. That'll allow you to enjoy the holidays a bit more. You're not going to be Mr. Jolly, okay? That's not happening. So you're going to have to give up some of the cookies. You're probably going to want to avoid the Halloween candy. Thanksgiving, you're going to have to watch your portions. All of that jazz. Or, if you want, on those days, expend just a ridiculous amount of energy. If you're going on Thanksgiving, you're going to, Mima's house for dinner, right? Go for a giant hike, or go play football with the family, or the cousins. Do as much activity, or fucking volunteer to do yard work, whatever. Do whatever you can to burn as many calories as possible to, if not completely eliminate, mitigate some of the damage. And it'll taste better too, because you'll get fucking hungry and you'll enjoy the flavor of the food. I know that when I'm hungry, and especially after a cut, food tastes so much better. When I'm full, food does not taste as good. That's some biology. That's some fucking lizard brain shit. All right. So there you go as a diet program. Really, I'm a huge fan of if it fits your macros. Now, you can try intermittent fasting, which it works the same way. You're still in a calorie deficit. That's a law of thermodynamics. The calorie deficit, right? Intermittent fasting, you're just reducing the window of hours you have to eat. Vegan diets, you're reducing your ability to consume high-fat meats. Keto diets, you're reducing your ability to consume carbs. I do not recommend keto because keto is expensive. It can work. Any of those diets can work. However, you have to pick one that is reasonable to you. Now, I'm also a huge fan of keeping a reasonable food budget. Again, vegan and keto in particular get very expensive very quickly. So, let's talk a little bit. Now, y'all know in my Discord channel, I have a giant list of what I call Holy Grail meals. One of the qualities of those Holy Grail meals is that the macros have to be good enough, to put there. That's usually, I would say, at least 7 to 8 grams of protein per 100 calories. That's a decent protein macro ratio. So for your macros, just to make sure, you really just need to worry about protein and calories. So 22 to 2,400 calories, 100 to 200 grams of protein. If you decide to start lifting 4 days a week, tick it up towards 150, 175. That's going to be a lot of lean meat, but you will see progress. Oh, you will see some fucking progress like that. A good balance is probably the 125 to 150 range. Protein, I would say, as long as you're getting at least 100 grams a day, and you should be all right. Especially because, again, you're looking more towards weight loss right now than anything else. Although, again, protein satiates you, so you may find you want more protein anyway because it will fill you up more. And then the other thing, the final thing that I've preached for so fucking long, track it, okay? Track your shit. Track your sleep. Track every fucking piece of food that goes into your mouth, all right? And that means track the macros, okay? If you want to find macro information, I recommend nutritionix.com. I have a pin for it within my diet channel in the Discord, okay? Track it. And then track your workouts, okay? Don't just be the guy who goes in there, runs through his sets, and tries to remember, I did this much that time and that much the last time and blah, blah. No. I did that for so fucking long and did not make near the progress I should have, okay? This is one where I'm telling you, learn from me. Until 2021, 2022, I did not start writing shit down. And ever since I started writing shit down, it's not only so much easier to remember what my workout program is, but it's much more enjoyable because I'm not sitting there, what do I do next? Now what you also can do, okay, with all this, you can write a general plan. And this is why I say do it in pencil, okay? If you get to the gym and the bench presses or squat racks are completely crowded, you have to go to an alternative. This is your best friend, okay? You're human. You make mistakes. Erasers. Shit happens. It allows you to adjust on the fly. Erasing takes you a couple seconds. Tracking your calories takes you no more than 5 minutes a day. Hell, a lot of times at work, I will plan out my next meal. Or my next workout. In fact, I could, if y'all would like, plan out my next workout tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that at the end of a little bit later. So that's going to be it for, I think, all your questions. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Track it. 22 to 2,400 calories. At least 2 days a week in the gym. I would recommend 3 to 4 if you want to get serious about putting on some more muscle, which will make everything else a lot easier. Bike to work would be a fucking life hack if you can, if you're only 7 minutes by car away. Now, if that's 7 minutes, like, on a highway, no, okay, that's going to be a little bit far. But if you can bike there, that's a golden thing to do. Richie Rich, thanks for the first time chat. Welcome to the bullpen. Hit that follow button if you like what I do. Bull, which muscle part of your body do you want to work on more? Whenever I ask men like you, they usually say their calves. It's because calves are like forearms. Okay, so there's a parallel to the arms and the legs here. It's a bit backward, but Let me explain, okay? Your arms and your legs work the same way. Let's see, okay? Your arms and your legs work the same way. You can curl in your arm, you can curl in your leg. Your hamstring acts the same way as your bicep. Your quadricep works the same way as your tricep, okay? Your forearm works the same way as your calves. Where's the lentil soup lovers? Oh, lentil soup is a good one. I'll go through some meal examples too. Thank you for reminding me, because I think he was asking about that. But so working on those, calves are genetic. Forearms are genetic too. For me, I need to work on my lats. I do not. Hang on, I need to really. I don't think my lats are at the same level of development that my pecs or legs are at. I think my legs have come a long way the last few years. My lats need work, my delts need work, and my forearms need work. What's up, Neil? Welcome. So, let's talk food. All right. Yes. Food. So, I strongly recommend going to my diet channel. I've put in some good suggestions in there. Indispensable protes, huge fan of those. Huge fan of protein powder. Protein powder is not necessarily the cheapest. It's not going to be quite as cheap as your basic chicken breast, although out here it's closer to cost parity because protein powder is non-perishable and raw chicken obviously is. Still, huge fan of protein powder. Protein powder it's just very convenient. You can have it in a protein shake. I recommend using it in food because that will make you a lot fuller and it's cheap. Protein is my best example because you can do it overnight. You throw in protein powder, little peanut protein, some milk, and just some rolled oats. Again, rolled oats are about the cheapest fucking thing you can buy in the store, and they are whole grain, so they're a little bit more filling than, say, flour or rice. Throw it in the fridge. Let it sit muesli or overnight oats style. Especially if you go chocolate, you throw a little peanut protein powder, which I have on my throne. That stuff's good. You get, the way I do it is 760 calories, so I go 12 ounces of milk, 2 scoops of protein powder, 2 scoops of peanut protein, or little tablespoons, and I throw a little creatine in there. Recommend creatine for you too. Probably not yet, but when you get below about 250 pounds, start looking at creatine, especially if you start lifting heavy. That one's worth doing. A couple other examples. So let's talk about, you said soups and stews. Curries. All right. So I would say curries are a great example. Now, curries can vary. Some curries are... The Throne is not a sex work platform, Jesus Christ. No, you can do a jungle curry. So, like, if you like a Thai curry, make a green curry, but nix the coconut milk. Or, if you have to use it, use light coconut milk. Unfortunately, coconut milk, tasty though it is, and actually semi-good for you that it is incredibly calorie dense. It's almost pure fat. Coconuts are, again, good for you, but moderation. Same thing with any other kind of nuts. Coconuts are not nuts. I get that it's a fruit, but you get where I'm going with that. Peanuts. I love peanuts, but personal mistake I've made recently. I went to Costco. Got that giant fucking Costco-sized container of peanut butter. A spoonful of peanut butter is so much smaller than you think it is in terms of the amount of calories for a serving size, and it's tragic because it's so delicious, but it's so calorie dense. No, you can type in !Throne if you really want to look it up. Why don't you do that, Niam? Couple other good ones. Red beans and rice. It's technically a stew. Beans and rice are a powerful and also vegan way to do get a complete protein. A lot of beans and a lot of grains are incomplete proteins. I have a list of how to pair them on my Discord channel on the diet. Okay? There you go. Oh, I guess it's not. Sorry. It's exclamation mark gift, I think. There you go. Anyway. So, red beans and rice. Now, you want to add a lean protein to that. Traditionally, you would throw andouille sausage or something like that in there. Andouille sausage is kind of fatty. So I recommend throwing chicken, or better still, if you can afford it, shrimp in there. Shrimp goes in any Cajun food, and it's pretty delicious. You can do a gumbo too. Gumbo, pretty decent for you as long as you watch how much flour you use, or watch how much butter and oil you use. I love peanut butter, but yeah, no, it's a weakness too because it's so cost efficient. In terms of calories, like if you were trying to feed yourself on a budget, peanut butter and tortillas, I fucking lived on that shit through college. So many of my other poor ass friends did through college, because peanut butter and tortillas are about the cheapest fucking things you can buy in a store. Rolled oats, super cheap too. And again, I live in extremely high cost of living food area, so it's the same thing. Richie Rich, I recommend PB Fit peanut protein. It is more expensive, unfortunately, but it allows you to have a little bit of peanut butter taste for much better macros. A couple other ones. Huge fan of Mexican food, in particular pinto beans, because pinto beans, dirt fucking cheap. You can buy them canned if you're lazy. I recommend getting a pressure cooker, which is, you get a pressure cooker or an Instant Pot. I prefer a pressure cooker, but you can do either. Super easy way to cook food very quickly and for very little effort. Throw in pinto beans. Soak them if you want, or if you like gassing everybody in sight, as I do, don't. You can boil them, pressure cook them down, throw whatever seasonings you like in. For Mexican style beans, I like tahini, a little bit of chipotle seasoning, or better chipotle hot sauce, or even just chipotle peppers, ancho chili, red pepper, black pepper, salt, cumin, jalapeno, onion, garlic, all the standard Mexican seasonings you might expect. Fajita seasoning, Julio's if you've got it, which is, oh, God bless Texas. The things I want my bro to deliver to me when I get out here. I want that Julio's. It's so fucking good. Hey, Crash, good to see you. But yeah, you throw pinto beans in, you cook them like that. You can, I actually use a stick blender to turn them into refried beans. No, they're not real refried beans, but they taste close enough, one, and two, they do not have the obscene amount of fat that canned or restaurant style refried beans do, because refried beans are made with lard, or they are made with butter. Lard and butter, as you might guess, are pure fat. You don't want to use a lot of that. Use that very sparingly. I would pair those beans with, shred some chicken or pork, lean pork, pork shoulder is a very good way to do that. Shred that up with the beans. You've got burrito filling now. You could even throw in a little rice if you're feeling fancy and you had the budget for your carbs. Make burrito bowls, or just take the beans and pork, or beans and chicken, throw it in tortilla. Boom, you've got yourself meat and bean burritos. You could even throw in a little cheese if you're feeling fancy. Cheese is not terrible macro-wise, but it really depends on what kind of cheese. Harder cheeses in general have higher protein content than softer cheeses, right? Which makes sense. Cream cheese is going to be mostly cream. Cream is fat. I'm going to hop out for the evening, finish my stuff on my desk. Hey, I appreciate that, Zep. I'll take a look at it. Sorry, I'm running the consultation here. Another good one. If you like a red style pasta sauce, al Vesuvio. If you like it spicy, that's my way of doing it. I like throwing in a couple good peppers. A spicy hot Italian sauce is really nice. Or spicy sausage. Recommend if you're going to do spicy sausage, throw in some leaner meat as well, chicken, or if you want to go, oil and vinegar sauce or a cream-based sauce, throw in some very, light fish or chicken to try and increase protein content. Spiralize some zucchini or some yellow squash, and you've got a decent pasta substitute. You can use spaghetti squash as well. The macros on a zucchini, right? You spiralize a zucchini, it looks like a full-ass plate of pasta. I like it raw. You can saute it as well. Just don't use too much oil. But if you have that raw, it eats like a full plate of pasta. It's obviously more expensive than pasta, but one zucchini is 70 calories. The amount of pasta it can replace is 600. You can do the math there. Excellent. So those are some good meals. I've got more. Check out my the Holy Grails meal list in my Discord if you want more for that. Okay. Speaking of pasta, I'm going to make some tonight, and that reminds me I need to do something real quick. I will catch up on comments in just one moment. This will take 30 seconds. Just got to... these are still fucking fused together. I have these blocks of pork that I'm trying to split and failing at doing so entirely. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, just got it. Yeah, see, I got these big chunks of ground pork. I was trying to use one, but it wasn't split. There we go. And we throw the other one back in the freezer. All right. Sorry about that. By the way, if y'all don't know what a pressure cooker looks like, got this bad boy used off of Craigslist. Cost me like 20 bucks. It's got a little, here's how a pressure cooker works, okay? You have it's a pot and a lid. The pot is fairly sturdy. It usually has a pretty solid base. The lid has this little rubber gasket, okay? You slide the gasket in, you throw the lid on, you line up the lines, and then you turn it so that the handle, right? You got the handle right here. Turn it so that the handle is aligned. Push this in to lock it, and then turn the switch to seal it. All right, this little yellow thing will come up when there's enough pressure. Then switch it like this. It'll make a loud hissing noise. The steam will escape. Use your, if your range or oven or stove has a hood feature, just use that. It'll suck up all the steam. Job done. Or, you know, if you wanted to heat your home, easy. You've created heat. You can reuse this and heat your home. Good hack for the winter. Not so useful if you live in Hawaii. I have a rice cooker and I have a pressure cooker. What I can do is pressure cook the beans, throw the rice in the pot, take some meat in the steamer basket, throw some meat on the steamer basket, you know, usually sausage or something like that. Boom, I've got a meal. Super simple. Pressure cookers are fantastic. Richie Rich, I have a feeling you're going to fit in here. Got some good... It seems like you understand the general flow of things. All right, so let's read through chat. All right. Answered criminal here. Eris Gamer, if you were honest with me, would thank you for it. Well, I am honest with you. So let me roll back up. I don't bullshit people. I never have. I'm very honest on this channel. And with this consulting thing, which again, ask BullMuscle@gmail.com if you would like a consultation like this. Thank you very much. There you go. If you've got any follow-up questions, you shoot me an email or ask on the Discord. But that should be a pretty good way to start. I'm 110. I feel obese. I want to lose more weight. Well, run a calorie deficit. If you want me to give you some tailored advice, you now know how to do that. I can absolutely do a consultation with you. If you were honest with me, there you go. I will thank you for it. Work on more. So yeah, calves are genetic like forearms are, and they are hard to grow. For instance, right, you can see I have a small gap between my bicep and my forearm. Now, you can work on this somewhat by working your brachioradialis muscle. Try and make that a little bit bigger. Try and make it look a little bit smaller, or try and make the gap look a little bit smaller. But it's naturally just a short head that I have on the bicep. So my bicep will protrude more than some of the long head, but it's not going to look as full. It is what it is. It's genetic. All right, where's the lentil soup lovers? That's another fantastic one that I didn't cover, and I should have. Lentils are an incomplete protein, but you can pair them with something like rice or some other grain, lentils and oats, lentils and flour. Make kind of a thicken the soup, like a roux style, or turn it into a stew. You could, pair it with corn. I think you could pair it with any kind of grain, basically. And throw that in with some tomatoes and then some lean meat, maybe canned tuna or chicken or what have you. Boom, you're done. And the meat's optional there, honestly. So didn't realize TwitchCon would be so much fun. Why am I geeked out about San Diego's transit? I didn't realize San Diego actually had much in the way of transit, but yeah, I saw a bunch of the other guys lifting at TwitchCon. I have some more fat to lose. That's not a pleasant realization, but I should probably Try to get down to like 205 to 210. Ugh. Speaking of, I should have probably weighed in when I got home today, but whatever. Chat, if you want me to weigh in, I can go do that. So are you sure my friend Peter does Findom and everyone uses Throne? I've thought about doing Findom before. If you're interested, talk to me on Discord. But no, it's not explicitly for sex work. A lot of sex workers probably use it. A lot of OnlyFans uses it, but it's the same way OnlyFans isn't exclusively for sex, but people use it for shit like that. Vanilla whey protein and oatmeal is pretty good. I can use vanilla whey protein, mix that with a little bit of flour, a little bit of milk, and then egg whites. Make pretty good pancakes out of that. High protein, too. And for a lot cheaper, I may add, than the Kodiak cakes that you might find at a grocery store. Let's see. Yeah, peanut butter, definitely a weakness for me. I just need to not buy it. I need that one. That is a battle I lose at the store. Bitch and sauce is good. I have heard of that. I don't think I've ever had it. Crash. Does Hawaii have Chipotle Mexican Grill? I don't think so, actually. I don't recall having seen a Hawaii here, Chipotle here. They just got Chick-fil-A here on Oahu, and Maui is the only island that has Krispy Kremes. So let's see what else we got here. Convinced no one cooks the Chipotle I work at is next to a gym. All the gym bros come out here before and after the workout. I mean, you could do worse than Chipotle burrito. You could also do better. And I know how to make Chipotle-style burritos for a fraction of the cost at home, so I don't do it. Again, frugality. Don't go out to eat. This is another really great tip for both diet and frugality. Don't go out to eat more than once a week. If you're going out to eat more than once a week and you don't live in a place like Thailand or Vietnam or somewhere where you can get very cheap food, like fresh, cheap street food. If that's not the case, don't eat out that frequently. So let's see. Hating 21 after you got more body hair and more people call you. God damn. What is with you fucking thirsty people? I don't get this. What's up, bro? I'm live for what it's worth, but we're just chatting. Someone was asking for a consultation about diet and exercise, so. Yeah, don't worry about it. So, I got a homie staying a couple of days here. A good friend of mine. He's shipping out. But, yes, I do consulting. Liam, do you just not read the chat? Literally, dude. Write to askbullmuscle@gmail.com if you want a consultation. So, yeah, if you would like me to consult for your life, there you go. Rice does have a lot of carbs, but it is what it is. After I got more body hair, more people call me daddy? I don't fucking know. Like that shit. There is a chunk of my audience. There is a chunk of my audience that is weirdly submissive and wants to call me daddy more than anything else in the world. And I guess it's a turn on for some people. I don't understand it in the slightest. It's weird to me. Right? It'd be as weird as if you were trying to date a girl and, like, calling her, like, you wouldn't call a girl mommy if you were trying to fucking date her. This is odd to me. I tolerate it. I have no problem with it. It's just, if you're sitting here, like, thinking calling me daddy is going to get me turned on, it's not, okay? It's just not. Making cookies now, I have to take a sugar break. Oof. A little fat is good. I'm not saying eliminate fat from your diet, but you're going to naturally get fat from, any variety of things. There is no perfectly lean meat. If you're making chicken thighs, it's going to have some fat in it. Milk or cheese, that's going to have fat in it. It's just, don't go out of your way to throw in unnecessary fats. Or if you are going to use fat in a recipe, something like butter or cream or oil, use less of it, and definitely measure it out, because you use more than you think you do. I promise. I would bet money. I know, because that's what I used to do before I fucking measured it. Hawaii needs a crumble. I don't know what crumble is. No offense to you, but I hate consultants. Bad taste. USA spends way too much money on transit consultants than actually building transit. The difference is I'm beholden to no one. I consult for my own enjoyment. And the reason I've done, okay, so why have I started doing consulting on the side instead of just giving out advice and trying to tailor plans for free? The first is because I had too many people asking me, and then this really annoying thing would happen where people ask me, and then they say thanks, and then they don't do a lot of the advice I give out, and that feels like my time's wasted. So I'm putting a value on my time. If you want to write in at askbullmuscle@gmail.com. I will give you the option. You can either have a one-on-one talk session with me in private. That's going to be more expensive, or I can give you a video response like this. I feel as though this was fairly thorough. I feel like I've given very good advice to our friend Mickey here, and I think that's quite good enough. Let's talk a little bit about, let's see, not true, call Amaranth Mommy. Who's the man behind you? Is that your boyfriend? If you feel like introducing yourself, you can. This is a good friend of mine who is active duty U.S. Armed Forces and is shipping out in a couple days. So I'm giving him a place to stay, until that happens. So that's
I'm not going to be called your boyfriend, so.
So it's a service to, is it? I mean, he's pretty good looking, I gotta say. But no, service. This is a service to my country. But she was stepping on fans during the TwitchCon meet and greet station. Couldn't register as I ran out of time. That's disgusting, and you're a simp. I do not have a lot of respect for you. If that's really something you wanted to do, congratulations, you're a simp. You can reconsider your life's choices. If you're gonna simp for someone who has the time to actually interact with you. Crumble is fast food cookies. Bro, cookies are the easiest thing to make. Just make it yourself. If you really want cookies, make yourself a cookie. Or at least if you're gonna get a cookie, go and get one of those bakery cookies at Costco, the big ones, the pizza size ones. Because at least then, right, it's gonna be junk food either way, but at least you're paying less for it, or something like that. What was the best cookie chain? Cookie restaurant you'll ever consume? I'm never going to go to a cookie restaurant. No. Guys, okay. Going to a restaurant, okay. If you're going out to eat, I accept that it's a luxury, but you should be finding that going out to eat place where it's not 100% junk. It's the same thing as bars. I'm not a huge fan of bars. You're going out, you're paying 5 times the money for something you can easily make at home. If you're going to go out to eat, in general, I'm much bigger fan of avoid chains and avoid fast food. If you're going out to eat, go out to eat at a place that you can't make that at home. Here, that's going to be a lot of Asian food, right? Or a lot of Hawaiian food. Go out, right? I'm never going to know how to make, good solid lau pork the same way a Hawaiian has been doing for the last 200 years. So I'll go out and treat myself to that, right? And yeah, I'll get some poi and I'll get some haupia. And haupia is not good for you, but at least it's not entirely junk food. Or like making a good plate lunch. It's the same kind of thing. There are certain dishes that I don't know how to make because I'm not from that culture. Or saimin, or pho, or God help, any of the Thai kind of stir fries where you need a million different ingredients and a tiny piece of every different ingredient. That's where the value of going out is. But going out to make cookies? I mean, that's 100% junk food, and it's not good for you, and you can make cookies that are just as good at home. Would I ever go to Cinnabon? Why would you go to Cinnabon? Bless your heart. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Cookies are... What are you talking about? Cookies are not easy to make. Cookies are not... Bro, are you kidding me? Cookies are easy as fuck to make. Ay. Still. Either way. Going out to eat like that, it should also be a treat. It should be a once a month kind of thing. And once a month is if the finances are good. If you are in debt, if you are not making more than $30,000 or $40,000 a year, if you are struggling to pay the rent every month, you should never be eating out. You should be eating at home with lean basic chicken, rice, pinto beans, and peanut butter. You know, cookies require you to follow a recipe. Baking is not an exact science, while cooking is not. That doesn't mean you have to follow it down to the T. You can generally come up with a reasonable approximation as long as you know the general ratios. This is still going to taste just fine. You can make decent cookies. And, okay, fine. In that case, use a measuring cup. It's not rocket science. You can make decent baked goods at home. Hell, even baking anymore, you can have bread machines. You know, if you love bread, if you're just super into bread machine, 100% worth it, because the cost of flour and eggs and all the basics is a lot cheaper than the cost of loaves of bread you buy at the store. And the bread will taste a lot better. Just scared I'm going to burn down my house if I bake, so I stick to cooking. Did you not learn how to use an oven as a child? It's an oven. It's not a barbecue grill. It doesn't have an active flame. You just need to remember to turn it off when you're done with it. Set a timer. Use a watch. Use a phone app. That one's seems pretty easy to me. Anyway, flour is not cheap though. A bag of almond flour is like $23.72. Why are you buying almond flour? What the fuck? Okay, even if you want to go almond flour, which is dumb and you shouldn't be doing that unless you've got a gluten sensitivity or whatever. And if that's the case, maybe consider rice flour instead of almond flour. Almond flour doesn't have wheat. Okay. 32-ounce bag of almond flour from Bob's Red Mill is $16, not $23. Blanched almond flour, 2-pound bag, and this is in store in fucking Hawaii of all places. 2-pound bag is $11.82. Now, regular basic normal flour that we people use, and I use flour, I eat wheat, I don't die. I can get a 5-pound sack of flour for $2.62, and it works just fine. But yes, almond flour is going to be more expensive based on the fact that almonds are a lot more difficult to grow than wheat. But if you don't like wheat flour, yeah, it's Walmart. That's literally just Googled almond flour, right there, right there, $11.82. That's in an island location where almonds don't grow, I might add, 2,500 miles away from the mainland. So if that's the price here, it's cheaper wherever the fuck you are. Can promise you that. If you're buying organic, that's a waste of your time. Organic almonds are no better than inorganic almonds. Don't waste your money on that. Especially if you're a millionaire and you're financially independent already and you're printing money, then fine, go buy your fucking almond flour. But if you're like any of us schmoes, no, you don't need to be doing that. $23.72 for how big is this bag? I hope it's a 10-pound sack. If it's a 10-pound sack, then okay. But if it's anything smaller than that, you're getting ripped off. No, but if you've got a wheat sensitivity, okay, you have rice flour, you have potato flour. You can make flour out of potatoes or getting dried potato flakes and just crushing them with a pestle and mortar. There are ways to do that. Potatoes don't have gluten. Rice doesn't have gluten. You can make potato bread. Newsflash. Okay. Potatoes are a lot cheaper than almonds are. Potatoes are great for you. They're no worse for you than almonds are. In fact, again, almonds are incredibly high in fat. 7.5 pounds. Okay, well, 7.5 pounds is still unbelievably expensive. Look at potato flour. Look at rice flour. Sweet potato flour if you want a little bit more sweetness in it. But you don't. Or peanut flour. You could make flour out of peanuts if you really wanted to. But rice or almond flour, it's just so unnecessary. It's like avocado oil. Avocado oil is fine if you have a distinct and necessary purpose to use that for. But if you're just using avocado oil as your general oil, no. What the fuck are you doing? If you're doing a basic fucking stir fry, use vegetable oil. Be normal. Use butter too. Like, butter's cheaper, or margarine. And make sure the U.S. government taxes sugar, ice cream, regular foods like flour. So it's just subsidize gluten-free, organic, and pescatarian. You lost me, okay? Taxes sugar and ice cream, all for it. Regular foods like flour, no. No. Flour, pinto beans, all the basic non-organic stuff, those are staple crops. That's what, if you are someone with a sensible budget, if you are working class, that's what you're eating. At least it damn sure should be what you're eating. Right? Organic is a bullshit label. Organic is just marketing hoo-ha. Most of the time, organic doesn't mean shit. It's the same thing as natural. It doesn't mean anything. Vegetable oil isn't keto friendly, though. Who cares? It's oil. This is why I tell people not to use keto diets. Keto diets are expensive. It's not necessary. We're fine. If vegetable oil isn't keto friendly, then use fucking butter then. What about keto and vegan people? Healthy foods deserve to be... Keto doesn't mean healthy. You can have an unhealthy keto diet. That just looks like eating bacon all the time. Keto does not equal healthy. Vegan does not equal healthy. A lot of people who are vegan dieters. Now, if you are vegan and you've got your macros on point, you're like a vegan bodybuilder, bro, mad respect. But most people aren't that fucking guy. Now, fresh produce, I'm all with you on that one. But organic? No. No. You subsidize the stuff that's already close to cost parity. Subsidize your basic inorganic foods, your inorganic produce. Carrots, spinach, cabbage. These are basic crops. Right, basic cabbage here is still pretty expensive. And yeah, it's a lot more expensive to buy a head of cabbage than it is to buy pasta or oats or flour. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Subsidize that. Or watercress or fucking whatever other local basic vegetables there are. But organic, no. Organic is bullshit most of the time. I mean, the funniest one is what people will pay for organic bananas. It's an appeal! Duh! I want to go buy some organic bananas! I want to go buy an organic orange! The only difference between the organic and the inorganic one is one's gonna fucking spoil faster. The inorganic one, all those chemicals that people freak the fuck out about are on the peel. If you're not eating the peel, you're fucking fine. Oh my god, non-organic vegetables get sprayed with toxic chemicals. Yes, then you can wash them off. The chemicals don't seep into the internal membrane of the vegetable most of the time. And again, especially ones that have a peel. If you're buying organic bananas and oranges, you're an idiot. You're getting suckered out of your money. Look, vegan is fine. I respect it if you're going vegan, but right, what do vegan people, if you are trying to go vegan on a budget, what are you mostly going to be eating? You're going to be mostly eating beans and rice, and it's not going to be fucking organic. That's the dirty little secret about vegan, right? You're going to be doing what literally billions of people on this earth do. That's eat beans and rice. Without beans and rice, inorganic beans and rice, half the world would fucking starve. It's the same thing with GMOs. People lose their fucking minds over GMOs. GMOs are the only reason that we did not experience a global famine 50 years ago in the 1970s. It saved the populations of India, Pakistan, and countless other developing countries. Hell, it even saved a lot of the poor here in the United States. It's the reason grocery spending as a fraction of the total American household budget is a lot smaller now than it was in the 1950s, and certainly a lot lower than it was in the 1920s or 1900s. We used to spend way more on food and on necessary clothes, and now we spend money on vanity and bullshit. And it's the main reason most people are going to be slaves to the system for the next fucking 50 years, the rest of their lives. On an unrelated note, actually semi-related note, read this book recently. Huge fan of this author in general, but it's called Poor Richard's Retirement by Aaron Clarey. It's Retirement for Everyday Americans. Highly recommend it. It's generally more philosophical than you would expect, but I don't want to spoil the book because I really do recommend y'all go and read it. Same with if you're looking for more advanced literature, Early Retirement Extreme. Y'all have seen me talk about that book before, but Poor Richard's Retirement is a bit more philosophical. It's less a how-to guide and more a why-to guide. It's more what you're giving up by sticking with the standard consumerist mindset, and a better way philosophically to enjoy your life. But Aaron Clarey, to me, he's a part-time economist and full-time asshole. Big fan of his. I'm a big fan of his work. A lot of people call him alt-right. I don't agree with everything he says, but I appreciate the lack of bullshit, and I appreciate the candor. So he's all right by my book. Poor Richard's Retirement, probably my favorite work of his. There are a couple others I'm thinking about picking up. But Poor Richard's Retirement is one I could recommend to everyone. Definitely think it's a good one. And it's just really simple. It's ultimately a math problem. So if you want my advice though, if you want BullMuscle Consulting, thoughts on Nick Fuentes? I don't know who Nick Fuentes is. Let's look him up. If you want my advice on any of this, again, ask BullMuscle at gmail.com. And it doesn't have to be consulting for your personal life. It doesn't have to be a diet plan. It doesn't have to be a meal plan. It can be dating advice. It can be economics questions. If you want me to do a deep dive on some political subject or financial planning, if you want me to talk about stocks, anything like that, write to me. We'll go from there. Let's see, Nick Fuentes. Well, I'll answer this. I'll answer questions for a few more minutes, but it's getting on, and I'm going to probably dip out. Let's see. It says, born 1998, so he's a Zoomer. Promotes white supremacist and anti-Semitic views. Denied the Holocaust. Did he? Let's see where he does that. That's in the National Review. It's not really. Let's see. Politico. It's all about Trump. He identifies as a member of the incel movement, supportment of authoritarianism, Catholic integralist, and Christian nationalist. I probably disagree with him a lot. Looks like to me he's, I don't usually fuck with Christian nationalism. Look, I am a Christian myself, and I am also a Catholic, but the United States was not intended to be a nation ruled by a distinct religion. It never has been. Some of the founding fathers were deists. Some were not atheists, but some lean more towards the agnosticism side. Some were Quakers. Some were different sects of Christianity. Some were intense believers. Some were a little bit more moderate. This country is great because it allows for freedom of religion, and any state-sponsored religion, I'm very wary of that. And religion can also be philosophy, right? Apart from, again, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you don't need to go any further than that. You don't want to. I'm not a huge fan of the government telling people what to do. Why Gmail? Do you think you'll ever invest in a professional-looking email in the future? Like what? Like my own website? I thought about that, but I want to see how this consulting thing goes first. Gmail's fine for the current purpose. If this gets big enough, I'll consider making my own website, but I see no reason to do that yet. That's not a now problem. We'll see how these streams go. All right, a couple future things want to talk about, and then we'll probably look to raid. How one can be atheist or faithful. I've tried to do the research. Can't prove or disprove the existence of God, so I can claim to be atheist or faithful. Faith, you either have it or you don't. Faith is a very difficult thing to wrestle with. I have both been a non-believer and I've come back to Christianity. My justification for my religion and my faith, that's a really long question. That's a really long answer to give. No, another fucking bot. Speaking of things I've been considering doing, speaking of things I've been considering doing, I've been thinking about moving over to full-time YouTube, and this intersects with something I wanted to talk about with the future of this channel. So, as y'all know, I do those live streams where I'm lifting, hoping I can continue those, but the gym Wi-Fi is still down, and they don't know what's wrong with it, so it may be a little while before I can get back to those kinds of streams. If that's the case, I may start moving to do my workouts and then just record them on YouTube and throw them onto YouTube. I may just kind of call it quits with Twitch and just switch over to that full time. Not really sure yet. So I don't know whether or not I'm doing that. That's a question mark at this point. I really want to get a little bit more information from my audience on that one. If it can only be agnostic. Using only logic, agnosticism is the conclusion you come to. But faith, that's a long question. I don't have the time to answer that right now. Madame Chlamydia, that is a name. Holy crap. If as far as YouTube is concerned, I've thought about that one. Faith is beautiful. I would agree with that. Faith can be abused. Faith can in the wrong thing. Faith can hurt you. But in general, I understand the reasoning behind faith, and I can justify why I believe, and that's all that really matters. To me, I don't really judge much on the way that other people believe, why they believe, or how they believe, or why they don't, or whether they don't. But it's interesting to learn. You learn, if you ask why, you generally tend to get some information about someone that maybe sheds light on something or provides a perspective which heretofore you had not considered. So let's see who we got live right now. We got Jolie. Yeah, let's go raid Jolie. Discourse, the philosophy of science, theology, and other stuff, published by Edinburgh Uni. That's interesting. Send me the link to that on Discord. I'd be interested in reading. All right, we're gonna raid our friend Jolie, who lives over on another island. So we're just doing a little island hopping. Another fucking... been getting a lot of these fucking Twitch bots that are coming in here to, like, buy viewers. Anyway. We're going to raid Jelly Polly. Splice, edit portions of stream into a nice 10-minute YouTube video, because that's a pain in the ass. That's the biggest reason. I'd be interested in, commissioning someone to do that for me, but I'm not doing that. Maybe one of my fans can do that. If I trust him enough. Yeah. We're gonna raid. We're gonna raid Jolie Polly. She's just doing, looks like, Grand Theft Auto. She's also another streamer from the islands. She is. We're gonna do a little island hopping. So that's going to be it for me today. So what's that's going to mean? Saturday, I will be hopefully live again in the gym. If not, I'll try and do at least a quick stream in here. Sunday, I will be off. The Honolulu Century Ride is coming up. So going to be busy on a very long bike ride. Should be a lot of fun. That is going to be it for me today, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you like this content, hit that follow button. If you really liked it, consider writing to me, askbullmuscle@gmail.com. And as always, y'all, make good decisions. Good decisions form your habits. The habits form your values. The values form... good decisions form your actions. Actions form habits. Habits form values. The values form an ethos to be the guide star through the rough waters of life. Much love, y'all. Come in for the hug. See ya. All right, YouTube, that's good. We are... Oh, shit, did she just get off? She just finished. Damn, she didn't raid me. That's quite funny. Oh well,